Don't judge a book by its cover. That is one of the quotation we hear every single day. But if you are a book writer, an author, is it true that you don't care much about the cover of the book, the title, the color of the cover? They say don't judge a book by its cover. What is so important if you are an author? Should the quotation be judge the book by its cover? Welcome. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, from EBM Scholars. Today I'm talking about importance of the book cover, the title of the book, how you put the color, image you put there on your book, and how much important it is for your book. We usually say, show me your friends, then I can be able to know your behavior. If you hang out with people who have this kind of habit, you know, or we know what kind of a person you are going to be. Why don't we use that into the book cover, book title, image, how you arrange your book cover? So, if you want to write a book, or you have ever written a book, what do you start with? Do you start with the content direct? I'm going to write about politics. You just start writing. Or while you are starting having the ideas, but at the same time you are thinking, what will be the perfect cover? What image should I use? How much time do you spend into designing your book cover? Or you don't care, you just ask anybody, can you give me the name, and that's all? Book cover. Before I go on and explaining, I would like to give 2 examples so that I can prove my point about the importance of the book cover and why you should judge the book by its cover, especially if you are an author or even someone who wants to buy the book. Okay, so there are 2 books at the bookstore. The first book is about procedures and techniques about playing golf. That is the entire content of the book. Or just playing golf for beginners, whatever. But the content is the procedures, techniques, step by step, whatever. If you want to become a golfer, you want to play golf. That is the book. But these are the 2 book titles of the same book. We have the same content, and we ask 2 people to provide 2 different book covers. That means title, and then we'll put the image later. The first book, which is the same content, someone is putting on the book that Golf 101 or Golf for Beginners. That's the book. Another person is naming the same book with the same content that How to Beat Tiger Woods on Golf. So, basically with these 2 books, majority of people will be motivated to go to buy the book with the title, How to Beat Tiger Woods on Golf. It's no brainer. Because we know Tiger Woods is the standard of golf. So, if a person has a dream to become a golfer, obviously there are other professional winners in golf, but Tiger Woods has become an icon. It's just like Michael Jordan in basketball. So, the title will decide that. So, I have some few books here. And in these few books, I want to see you or to share with you some of the book titles. This is one among. It says, What to Do When Your Child Gets Sick. Easy to read, easy to use. Very simple. Very good title, catchy. And if you see the photos, mostly the kids, one kind of sick, doctors there, a little bit happiness, but you see the image of the mother. It is catching attention of the reader. The color, white and yellow, shiny. So this is what things, before I go to read, like if I want to buy a book, obviously someone is going to buy a book just by the cover. We are just saying don't judge a book by its cover, but if a person is going to buy a book, number one, they are looking for the book cover. Obviously, okay, there are some of the books, people, they don't care about the cover because they know the author of the book. So, for instance, Nora Roberts, we know the novels from Nora Roberts will be great. If the book from Michelle Obama, even if before the book is written, people already can buy the book. Not because they've seen the content, it's because the book comes from Michelle Obama, or the book comes from Barack Obama. So those are the things. So sometimes people sell the book, judge the book because of the author. The book from Joe Biden, even before the book is out, already some of the book can become bestseller because of pre-order. It comes to book cover. So that is like kind of like one of the book. Let's say like how to clean practically everything, anything. So it's just like how you put your titles, what color you are going to put. The famous Dreams from My Father. And then you see Barack Obama over there. You see, where is the little baby? You see all those images. And you see the book color is just dreamy, old, kind, like to show that has a little bit back history. It's not just like... So these are kind of the things usually they draw people's attention. This one is called Class 11. My story inside the CIA's first post 9/11 spy class. So the book itself, because the book is about intelligence or the government in general, you see the image, you see the US flag over there, and then there is someone behind the flag to show patriotism, TJ Waters. So book covers, titles are very, very important. Then, obviously, I have to talk about my book, for instance, this one. Claire Francisca, The Happiest Girl on Earth. Then you see the title of itself, The Happiest Girl on Earth. So people want to know, who is this little girl? Then you see the image I put there, the child is happy. Claire is happy, is smiling, the best smile. But if I'm going to put there, the happiest girl on earth, and the child itself, I mean, Claire is just crying, it doesn't reflect. So those are the things you have to consider when you are going to create a book. A Loving Father, simple book, and then you put the image of the child who is happy because of the kind of childhood a child is having. So these are some of the book. True memoirs of the scholarship guy. That means it's the first account of the person who won. Who is this scholarship guy? And what are these memoirs? Are they true or not true? So, what do you consider when you want to write a book? Do you think like what I'm thinking? Like, judge a book by its cover? Consider, spend time to put your book cover. The title, Why Bernie Sanders Matters. These are some of the books, but there are so many good titles if you can go through here. Very attractive. The color. Just like what kind of letters you are using. What image are you using? Where do you put your name? Do you want to put emphasis on the name or the title? All those things matters. Whatever you're going to put on your book title, book cover, has a bigger impact on a reader. Because when someone is going to buy a book, he's not going to buy a book at bookstore just, unless otherwise I said you are a famous writer, someone knows for sure who you are, what kind of books you are writing. But after that, you cannot just jump and assuming that people will be excited to get a certain book cover. I mean, just by looking at a certain book cover, obviously I'm going to buy this book. That's why, for my case, when I'm writing the book, the first thing, I'm spending so much time on book cover. That's the first thing. I might have the content, like I'll be writing a book about economy of Africa, neo-colonialism, things of that nature. But in the end, I'll be making here, back and forth, going to discuss and figuring out what will be the perfect title. That's why when I came to publish the book, it was Imperialism 2.0, Why Africa? And then there is an image. I don't have that book here, but there was an image of the map of the map of Africa. But on that, like in Africa, you see there is European Union flag, there is China flag, and then there is American flag, and then there is two African at the bottom, like begging. So the book cover, the image you are using, the color you are using, the title will determine someone to judge your book, to buy your book, or to be interested even just to make a preview about your book. So, yes, as an author, as someone who wants to write a book, please, please, please spend time on your book cover. You can even change the book cover down the road while you are still figuring out. You can put on social media and ask for people's opinion if you want to do that. Sometimes I do that. I have some of the groups for writers, so I create like maybe 2 book covers. I post there. Which one do you prefer more? Oh, this is my book cover I'm thinking about. What is your opinion on this one? People can say, okay, this is very good, but why, if you the title or the name, can you put on at above, or put it, or change this kind, whatever the image, because it doesn't relate to what you are planning to say. So get opinion from some people you think, or you trust them, and give the genuine criticism or opinion, suggestion. I usually do that. But also make sure that you don't rush just to think today and then you make the book cover. A few seconds, you just publishing the book and put it there. While you are writing the book, you still develop the book cover. Make sure the book cover is catchy. The book cover is attractive. The book cover title is a little bit more convincing, a little bit making sure that you can be able to just get some of the content. Like if you read the Bush's book, it's called Decision Points. If you go to Hillary's book, there is a book about the living history. So all those kind of books, yeah. So you can just go to find different type of books, and sometimes you have to make a research a little bit. Like if you go to put in the Google search about A Loving Father, how many books have the title A Loving Father? So don't write a book. For instance, I write the book about Decision Points, while already George Bush wrote the book. So my book will not be famous. I got to write the book with I want to write about Bernie Sanders, and I got to write why Bernie Sanders matters. It doesn't make sense. So try to find titles which are a little bit unique. Some of the titles which are a little bit convincing, and you can be able to own that kind of title. Not just a general book title, which everybody can just see it, and you can be, if someone they search, they go to find other people's books, which are famous writers. So, what is your style? Do you pay attention much on the book title, book cover, the color of the book, the color of the cover, whatever, the title, the lettering? Do you consider all those things? When you want, even if you are not a writer, you are not an author, but when you go to buy a book, deep down, what things do you consider? Apart from being the author is bestseller, you know for sure. What other things do you consider if you want to buy a book? Have you ever thought about the book cover as the convincing part? For instance, my book title, one of the books is called It Was Not Russia. So it's up to you. Okay, if it's not Russia, who was then? So it can draw attention of someone to go to read the book. I have a book title. I've already created a book cover. Why I didn't become a teacher. So usually I create a lot of book cover. What I have over 20 book covers for the future books, which I haven't even started writing. Maybe I'll write some of the books within 3, 4, 5 years. So that's something we have to consider. As a writer, as someone buying the book, let's share our opinion, comments, like what matters to you. Do you pay attention to these items? So let me end up here and make sure that you'll be able to subscribe to my channel here. watch the suggested videos here, and put the comments down below here, and share, you as your reader, what motivates you, what catches your attention, so that people, writers like us, you can be able to know for sure if that is truth and what we are believing, that a book cover, the time we're spending on the book cover, matters to you as your reader. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice day to you.